Hi friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome back to a prompt page for the Inspired to Create prompts for 2023. This is a challenge that Melissa over at Messy Missy Creates and I made for ourselves at the beginning of 2023, and we decided to bring you along. If you're new here, welcome. There's a whole playlist of them down below. I am late to these and catching up. So the essence of it is you have a word for the week and then you choose a prompt for each letter. I'm going to do these in voiceover because I'm catching up with the whole month. So here's the prompts I'm using. The first week was shopping, and I'm going through my prompts now. So for S, I chose snail. For H, I chose hexagon. For O, I'm not too sure. P, I have peninsula, which is on that little map right there. And did I show you another P? There is another punch there that I just showed you for I, that one right there. I'm going to use inch, and that's supposed to be an inchy square. We'll talk more about that later. N is notepad and G is gum wrapper. Now, I am working in that December daily journal that I showed you. So that piece of paper is a piece of paper that fits relatively into that journal. I have done multiple things throughout the year, including like having a page in the journal ready to go and creating, on it every week. And then at the end of the year, I made a bunch of giant cards and kind of tucked them into a pocket. I have no idea what I'm doing with these, but I do know they're going into the journal somehow. So they need to be that journal size. So okay, so to get started, I'm going to take that piece of paper and I'm covering the entire thing with that map, and I'm getting, let's see, what did we use it for? Peninsula. So we're gonna cover the entire background. Now it's obviously too much background, so I'm gonna put some white acrylic paint right over that and just kind of soften it, if you will, or cover it. I don't know, pretty much. I like the kind of scratch marks, and you can see through the paint a little bit. I like that texture to it. Obviously, if you wanted it smoother, you would do it with, maybe a brush, a thicker layer, like all those other things. But I like the grunginess of it. So I'm pulling out, I pulled that out of my trash. If if I was filming this live, you would have heard that. I frequently pull things out of my trash, like literally after I throw them away, and I'm like, oh, nope, I'm not going to need this. And then the next minute I'm like, oh, going back into the trash to get that thing I just threw away. So that was a little advertisement from coffee when we went last week or whatnot. So just using it. And then I'm going to dry that acrylic paint just a little bit. It doesn't need much. You could use anything on there, but a little coat of acrylic works well. Now, yeah, it's a little wet still, but, and there, look at that, crossing a prompt off. We're off to a good start. Now, because these are not oriented in my book, I, am looking at this page kind of directionally as it would sit into the book, if you will. And I'm going to come to realize that I'm going to want more space, kind of. Yeah. You guys, is that the coolest hexagon? It is a quilting stencil, and I got it at the thrift store a while ago when I did a haul for you guys. I bought it for the material but it's a really cool stencil. It's going to end up being a little big is what's going to happen here. But I'm going through all the notepads. Now, those notepads are not notepads I've bought. Those are all from Happy Mail. And you know my deal on Happy Mail. Like, how many pieces of paper do you get in a notepad? And if you just share like 3 or 4, it gives someone else like the ability to try different things and have access to things and all this kind of stuff. So this one's kind of fun. I really enjoyed these prompts throughout the year because even though the words themselves were somewhat themed for the month, let's say this word is shopping, which kind of went with the holiday theme, if you will. The pages were not for me. I think I did one that was kind of like themed for the correct month. And that may have been, I think, like October, because I had some spooky things out on my desk. But this is, it's a December prompt, and I'm making it in January because I'm not current on these, and I was very determined to finish them. And, but these prompts they were just fun, but the pages, this is like turning out to be very springy, if you will, and summery almost, because I have the pineapple, right? So, all right, so I'm taking that notepad, and it had beautiful like tropical flowers on it and this really fun green pattern. So I'm cutting the pieces apart, and I'm going to make, kind of like a border around this whole page. And so I'm going to piece them together throughout. Now, I will tell you, this video gets cut off because my husband came in and was talking to me, and I had to take a phone call from my mom, and I turned it off, and then I turned it back on to finish the page, but I apparently didn't. It didn't record. Like, I apparently didn't hit the button. I thought I was recording. So I will tell you, this is a short video. I probably didn't need to actually speed it up because it's really only a little bit of a video. So I'm going to prep you guys with that first. So I'm going to take you through some of it, and then you're going to come back and see the finished page, because ta-da, the magic of editing and videoing when you don't have a camera on. It goes pretty quickly. So, all right. So that technically is like using the notepad, because I used the border of a notepad. So technically this is going to be done. I'm going to end up using some more of notepads, but technically that takes care of one prompt. So I'm just creating a little fun border, and I'm digging on that pattern, you guys. Can you see it? It's very like island-like, and yeah, I like it a lot. And that little snail came out of one of my favorite books. It's a children's art book of how to create art with children. I actually have 2 copies of it. I bought a copy to like use or to make or to do. And then I found another copy, a bigger copy, or maybe I found the big one first. I don't know. I have a small paperback, and I have a very large hardback of the same book. And so I took the large hardback and I put it into my book pile to cut up. And so it's got these really cool, pictures and all sorts of different sorts of art that I often cut up. I know you guys, if you've been here a bit, have seen me use it, but that's where the snail came from. And that pineapple is from like a Project Life card, if you will. Not that brand, but another one, a journaling pocket page card. I don't know what they call them. Like, I never call a facial tissue a facial tissue. We call it, like, go get a Kleenex. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's from a little island set, if you will, that I got from the thrift store also in one of my hauls. And someone had gotten rid of some like scrapbooking things. It was like a set. It might be a Creative Memories one. Can't really remember. But it was all kind of island themed, and it was like kind of random pieces of some cards and paper. So I grabbed it, and I've been enjoying using it throughout different projects. And it happened to be out and amongst my things, because I had grabbed a few island things. My son and his girlfriend had recently taken a trip that was kind of tropical, and so I had some stuff out, and I thought the pineapple worked. Now I'm working with that hexagon, and I'm loving it so much, but I'm realizing that it's probably too big for what I want. So I do have a hexagon punch, and that is the gum wrapper, and it's too thin. You guys know like how thin those are. So I'm going to glue it just to a little scrap of paper here on my desk so it works, in the punch. So it doesn't, because I only have one, and you guys know how that is. I was sad because I really thought this punch was an inch punch, okay? And I'm using it as my inch prompt, and it's a little shy. I do have a square inchy punch. This is apparently not it. I went to measure it's anyway. We're counting it. We're counting it as inch. So there is gum wrapper and inch. Now I've come back here's a little, oh no, I didn't cut off yet. I just cut out a little piece. Okay, so I'm going to glue these cards on a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where to put those little squares, but I'm completely digging them. I know for sure this pineapple goes in left because that's, now if I had my, you know, if it were just up to me and I wasn't held to all these rules of like, you have to finish all the prompts, I'm kidding, but I would leave it just as it is. I would take the snail and those little squares off and I would just leave that journal page almost as it is, right? With the pineapple and the border and stuff. I think it's pretty cool as it is, but I'm going to go ahead and use, you know, all the prompts and make a page. So I'm going to line them up against the top. I'm going to put the snail on there. I kind of digging on that. And then I'm trying to figure out the hexagon piece. Okay. That's a little journal card that came in some happy mail. I'm wondering if it has a spot here. Again, I'm trying to figure out the hexagon. Okay, so we're back. Here's the completed page. The oval, I used O for oval. Here we go. So peninsula, inches, I used hexagon. I punched it out of notepad again, and I cut O out of oval clear packaging. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you find something today that inspires you.